Eyes up here, please. Phones away. Earphones out. Everybody take a deep breath. You can hear me. Inhale. All right. Let's define these 4 types of love according to the Greek philosophers. Someone first defined for me eros. I know it's your favorite type. Yeah. Yes.
It's like passionate love.
Passionate love. Give me more than that. Yes. Sexual attraction, physical attraction. Yeah.
Lustful.
Lustful. Anything else? Eros, erotica. When we think of the word erotica, what do we think of? Well, what does that mean? You know, in our Western culture, we kind of minimize the meaning of just this like sexual attraction. Erotica in the Greeks also meant love for all things beautiful, love for theater, love for music, for poetry, for art, for nature. We've kind of forgotten that love for all those things as well. Okay? And when we say, I love you in this society, we tend to think it's only limited to eros. That it's that, you know, Valentine's Day goo goo gaga type of love. And that's why it's hard for a lot of us to say the words, I love you. But as the Greeks pointed out, love is layered. It's not one thing, it's many things. And so you can say I love you in multiple contexts and be truthful in every one, but mean different things. You know, what just boggles my mind when I look back on my educational experience, institutionalized at least, in all my schooling, elementary, middle, high school, college, graduate school, I have 2 degrees and 2 teaching credentials, and not one day, not one class spent 1 minute helping us define the most important vocabulary word they're ever going to encounter, which is love. It's the one word that affects everything in our life. All of your pain, all of your progress, all of your sadness, your sorrow, your misery, your joy, your jubilation, your peace, all come from love or the lack of it. When I had you guys write earlier in the year about your best experience or your worst experience from your elementary and middle school days, almost all of you wrote about the same thing. Either a teacher or a classmate who made you feel loved, or a teacher or classmate who didn't. Love or the lack of it. And so it's vital, it's paramount, that we spend more time dissecting this vital vocabulary word, love. And what does it mean? Because it plays a role in every facet of our life. Everything you're doing, every day, is a result of love or the lack of it. And so we have to learn how to love greater than simply eros love. Than simply the romantic, I have a physical attraction to you type love. There's so much more in humanity and so much more love to that. But if we're never taught this stuff, how can we become it? And so we'll get back to eros in a minute. Okay? And you're young. Some of you might maybe have relationships. Some of you haven't yet. But they come and they go. They change. But different than eros, what's filial love? Friends, yeah. Filial, Philadelphia, brotherly love, our friends. It matters to us. But we probably, can say I love you to a friend and mean something different than we say I love you to a boyfriend or to a girlfriend. Okay. And what's Storge? Yeah.
Familial love.
Louder?
Familial love.
Family love. Right? And what all 3 of these things have in common, Storge, eros, and filial, we didn't choose any of them. Like you don't choose your family. You don't choose who you're attracted to. You don't choose who you have chemistry with friendship-wise. They're all a feeling, and they all fluctuate. They all can change. But I would hope, the way we love in our families and our friends and our boyfriends and girlfriends is different. And even inside our families, you might be really close to your dad and not close to your mom, or really close to your brother and not your sister. And some people don't have strong feelings of love in their own family, and so their filial love, their brotherly love, their friendship love matters way more to them because they're not getting that loving, reassurance in their families. And really, what happens with the filial and storge plays a major role in what happens in your eros. How we deal in our romantic relationships. But the Greek said, all those are nice, they play a big role in our lives, but it's actually a higher love than all of them. And it's the highest love because it's the hardest love to do. It's called agape. What's agape love? Who got that definition? Yes. Love of all mankind. Unconditional love. Anybody else? Is that possible? Can we love all unconditionally? What do you think? Hulk Hogan, let me hear it. Can we or no?
Yeah.
Yes? It's possible you're saying we can love everyone unconditionally? Everyone means all, even those you don't know, strangers, those who have hurt you, wronged you, harmed you, those who annoy you. We can love all of them? It's possible, but it's difficult, right? But nothing easy makes you better. You know, all these great philosophers of the time, they say, love your enemies. It's all my hat today, love your enemies. Do you think they were saying, welcome into your home and make them feel like family? Maybe not, probably not. Do you think they're saying, be best friends with people who harm you? No. Do you think they're saying, date those who wrong you? No. But agape love, what's up, Jackson, allows me to love those who don't love me back, or don't love me first, or harm me in some way. The difference is those first three are emotions or feelings. Agape is not. It can become, but it doesn't start that way. It's a decision, it's a verb, it's an action. It's how we choose to treat people. It's choosing to treat people with kindness instead of treating them in kind. It's how we forgive and show grace and kindness and patience. How we're able to love someone we barely know. Because again, you don't need to know anything about someone to love them, because you know who you are. That you're someone who loves. And then you can love anybody. Because it's not about them, it's about you. As Shakespeare said, know thyself. All man's problems come from not knowing thyself. So we got to know who we are, what we're about. But this is the most important work of your life. Because it affects all of your life. How well do you love? And I want to make sure you all aren't lacking it. Lacking in giving or receiving. That's important. Now, how can we get there to a point, this agape love, where we're able to love people who don't show us love? We're able to love people who are openly attacking us. Love people who are trying to bring us down. Yet we still can be that teeter totter and elevate them up. We mentioned yesterday that childhood game. Put your hand out, top, 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 and elevate each other up like childlike love. And let me give you some scenarios to help you kind of figure out how it's possible and practical. It takes work, it takes practice. But anytime you do anything, you can do more of it. The more weights you lift, the more weight you can lift. The more you run, the more you can run. The more you love, you can love more. So let's say our boy Troy here. He says, guys, I love you all so much. This class is so great. Everyone come to my house for a field trip this weekend. And we all know Devin's down. All right? Jeremy's already there. And and we all get on the bus. We all get there. And then all of a sudden we walk in the house, and Troy's dog has defecated, has taken a poo, a crap, on the floor of his bedroom. And Troy says, hold up, guys, let me take care of this. Yo, Buster, come here. And grabs Buster the dog, and grabs Buster by the collar, and he drags Buster over to Buster's little dog bed next to Troy's bed. And then Troy just pulls his pants down and takes a poo right there on Buster's bed. That's what you get, Buster. You know, like, that will show you the crap in my house. Now, let's be honest. How would every one of us who just saw this take place, and then Troy's like, all right, guys, let's go, let's hang out now. How would we all be responding to Troy in that moment?
I'd throw up.
We'd be like, I actually have to feed my fish. I forgot, buddy. I gotta go. Like, we'd all be out.
I gotta go back to my fish.
We'd be out of there. Devin said you'd stay. All right. And the rest of us would be gone. Why would we want to leave Troy's presence as soon as possible? Because we think Troy's what?
Weird.
Psycho, crazy. But here's my question for you. I want you to think long and hard about this. Why is it crazy for Troy to take a literal poo in response to someone taking a literal poo, but it's acceptable when someone talks crap on you and you talk crap back? Oh, it got quiet here for a minute. Shit, I can feel the energy shift in the room. First time maybe you thought about that perspective. See, I'm pivoting your brain, I'm tilting you, but you're like, oh, shoot. What's the difference? Why do we accept one and not the other? And put your computers down for a minute. Thanks. Let's be good listeners. Someone said last period, well, one's literal poo and one's not. And I said, literal poo is worse? He said, of course. I said, how many have died from literal poo on the floor? I said, how many have died from verbal poo? Millions. Tens of millions of people have died from verbal crap out of our mouths. All wars start with words. It would be country wars or neighbor wars or individuals, fights, violence. Our words create our world. From murder to suicide to harm to aggression to violence. Words. And yet we accept one and not the other. One's crazy and one's cool. The other day I told you to step back, not kick back. Buck Morris, step back, not kick back. My challenge to you today, what I mentioned yesterday, is anytime someone says F you to you in all of its forms, to say bless you back and mean it. Don't crap back, Troy. Bless back. Because, any math people in here? Math? I didn't think so. But anyway, I'm not great with numbers anyway. But let's do a little equation together. What's -1 plus -1 equal? -2, not 0. You say, well, he talked bad at me first, so I thought, no. You weren't getting even. You were making the world worse. -1 plus -1 equals -2. You didn't get even. You contributed to more negativity in the world. And here we go around our lives. People talk crap about us. We talk crap back. And they complain the world's so crappy. Without ever looking in the mirror and acknowledging the hypocrisy of how we're contributing to the stench. How we're adding to the smell. You see, -1 plus 2 equals what? 1. If I want to add positivity to the world, I got to be twice as loving as my haters. If I want to add more love to the world, more goodness, I got to be twice as good as bad people. I'm not just adding a little bit. I got to be 4 times, 10 times I want to add more than 1. Forget the golden rule that says treat others like you want to be treated. The platinum rule says treat others better than they treat you. I'm going to treat you with kindness, not in kind. Because your behavior should never determine my behavior. How you talk about me and how you treat me as a leader should never determine how I talk about or treat you. What comes out of you does not determine what comes out of me. Because I'm a leader. I don't just react to what you do. You got to start understanding that. Being a leader means I'm response-able. I know it's not easy, but it's paramount. It's vital to victory. Can you love your enemies? Can you be kind to unkind people? These answers are going to determine the quality of your life. And why I'm having you create your own leadership chart, and yours is due, by the way, 2 weeks from today, is so you can have a visual reminder of who you want to be and making sure you're aligned there. Because we got to make sure we're on the right path. Has anyone ever been to the Back Bay before in Newport Beach? Anyone in Newport Beach, Back Bay? Oh, you're missing out. They used to have this really cool forest back there I used to go to all the time. They chopped it down like 2 years ago, broke my heart. But if you ever go back there, it's a 1-lane road, one way to get through the Back Bay in Newport Beach. I used to go there all the time. And one day, I'm on the Back Bay. Stop doing that, please. Thanks. And there's this girl, maybe college-age girl, in front of the road, parked her car in the road. It's very narrow. And she's taking selfies with the bay. B-A-Y, not B-A-E. The actual water. Like, boop, 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 boop. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm sitting there, like, not moving. Her friends in the passenger seat sees me. She's like, come on, let's go. And she goes, he can wait. Now, I have a little urge like to honk, but I don't. I'm like, hey, here's a great opportunity to teach me patience. But it wasn't lasting very long. She's chilling. And then she walks back into the car. I'm like, okay, finally she can get in her car. And she changes her fit. Changes her outfit and starts taking more selfies. Selfie was never selfish. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then another car is behind me. And another car is waiting for this girl to finish her photo shoot of her and herself in the water. Instagram Live, or I don't know what she's doing. And then right when she gets back to her car, I haven't said a word. I haven't honked. I haven't shown any aggression at all. She turns to me and says, F you, and flicks me off. And gets in her car and drives off. Like I did something wrong. And you'll find a lot of people who wrong you then act as if they're the victim of you. They're projecting their own badness onto you. The way they control the narrative. Be careful of this. But I was really proud of myself. We got to learn how to celebrate our own progress in love. Because right when she said, I've been saying this for years to you guys, say bless you every time someone says F you. And right when she drove off, out loud, I'm in the car by myself. Usually I say it internally, I say bless you. I said it out loud. As well, I'm following what I teach. But more important than that, as I drove through the bay, I wasn't thinking about her. Where a few years earlier, probably been 8 hours later, you won't believe what happened to me today. It's one girl, blah, 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 blah. How many of you ever had someone do something bad to you? And a day later, or days later, you're still thinking about that and replaying in your head over. See? We're letting our ego run our lives. When ego runs you, it ruins you. When love leads you, it elevates you, it frees you, it liberates you. Love set me free. I let her go. Little mosquito, out of here. But you're going to find that night I went and I said a thought of thank you for her. Because you're going to find that the people who annoy you, who harm you, who anger you, who just rub you the wrong way, who are difficult or challenge you or criticize you, all these people are really love in disguise, teaching you how to be more loving. They're not actually bad things, they're blessings, if you respond correctly. Because you can't learn how to be a loving person if you're only surrounded by loving people. The way you learn to be a loving person is to show love to people who aren't loving to you. So the next time someone's mean to you, or annoys you, or frustrates you, or criticizes you, check your reaction and say, bless you. And then realize they actually are a blessing to you. Because they're giving you an opportunity to show agape love, leadership love, teeter-totter leader love. Agape love expects nothing in return. It's a teeter-totter leader who lowers yourself to the bottom of the teeter-totter and elevates others in love, and loves with no receipts, meaning you don't ever expect it to be returned back to you. You might get it back, but you're not expecting it back. Put your phones away, please. Thank you. Right there is an example. 5 times today in this period, one of you has had your phone out. That is a version of saying F you to me. And all 5 times, I've said, put your phone away, please. I could have yelled, screamed, sent you to the principal's office, thrown a tantrum, shown you my power, had a back and forth exchange. But I'm causing my own pain. Treat others better than they treat you, the platinum rule. And see, once you start learning how to do agape love, it improves your storge, your phileo, and your eros love. This is the secret. It enhances all the rest. Because, right, you want to admit it now, you're all freshmen. Statistically, a lot of you in this room who have really tight friends right now, when you graduate 4 years from now, you're going to walk past some of them and not even say hello. As if you never knew each other. How many have friends from elementary school you're not friends with anymore? It happens, it's sad, it still hurts. How many have friends from middle school you're not friends with anymore? It's sad, it happens, it hurts. But agape love allows you to overcome the hurt and to heal and to forgive. One of the hardest parts about growing up is you grow apart. And not only do you grow apart in family love, in brotherly love, but also romantic love. And agape is how you heal all three. We have a 67% divorce rate in this country. Almost a 70% divorce rate. Because people aren't working on the agape. The eros, the physical attraction, is going to wear off. And if you're not working at agape, it's not going to work. Relationships stop working, you stop working at a relationship. If we worked as hard in the middle as we did at the beginning, there would be no end. I have 3 former students right now who are in college. Who've all called me. And all 3 of them, their girlfriends broke up with them around the same time. Their girlfriends went off to college. All 3 of these young men, this was their first girlfriend. They were all long-term, many years. They all said upon graduation, we're going to make it work long distance. After a couple weeks in college, done. They're heartbroken. They're devastated. All 3 are reacting in a different way to deal with their pain. But is it possible that you can still love those people, but realize we're not meant to be together every day anymore? You can break up without breaking apart by keeping the agape alive, by showing empathy and respect and kindness and grace and healing for your own self too. Not that there's anything wrong with you, it's just not right anymore for the 2 of you. You're going to experience this. Breakups, friendships, family. But agape love can bring us back. Maybe not together, but bring us, the individual, back whole. We got to work on how we're using these words. Words matter. Big time. Let's talk a little more about Eros. I was watching a show, the Oprah show many years ago. She had this one show about teen relationships. It was like, should teens have sex or not? And some couples say, we're going to wait till we're married. People say, no, we're ready now. And she asked this one couple, I think they were 16 or 17. How do you know you're ready? She says, I love him. And he says, I love her. And she says, we're going to be together for a long time. And he goes, yeah, we're going to be together for a long time. And Oprah asked her a brilliant question. Define long time. And the girl said, a few years. And she asked the guy, he goes, I don't know, a few months. This is like gasp in the crowd. The girl's like, what? Was he lying to her when he said, I love you, we're going to be together for a long time? No. But see, they never talked about definitions of words. She assumed he meant what she meant. But they weren't adult enough to have that mature conversation of how do you define these terms. Maybe they're not mature enough to have adult activities. And sometimes we act as, oh, that person betrayed me. They lied to me. No. I mean, it happens sometimes, but maybe you just never asked them to define the words you're using together. So women, especially, but guys, make sure you're openly talking to each other. You're on the same page in all your relationships, friendships too. A lot of people get married and then divorced because of parenting issues. And they never had discussions before they got married about how they want to parent. You got to define the terms for yourselves. These are the vocabulary words that really matter. Have these conversations. Agape helps heal all of that. Even when I'm mad at you, or you're annoying me, I'm not feeling the love for you in that moment. Agape loves I can choose to still treat you with love and kindness and respect and patience and grace and forgiveness. I don't keep track of wrongs. I don't keep track of things I've given. Let me give you one more scenario to try to help you understand how powerful agape love can be. We're all hanging out at Luca's house. Just having a grand old time. And all of a sudden, Luca starts sneezing like crazy. Achoo! What is the normal reaction for me? I'm around Luca, he sneezes near me. What should I do? I say, bless you. And I walk away from him, and I wash my hands. And I don't go around Luca again until he's shown me he's not a sneezer anymore. But if Luca is sneezing, would I go, oh, give me some more of that. Bring it in here. Let me swim in that. That'd be crazy, right? But think about how many of us do that in abusive relationships. Someone is sneezing on us, mistreating us, and we say, give me more. That is not love. That is a lack of love for yourself. Agape love doesn't mean you let someone abuse you. Love doesn't mean you allow someone to be your doormat. It means you're a magic carpet. You elevate them up, but you don't let them mistreat you. But think how many people do. They stay in relationships that are bad because they don't feel good about themselves to leave. You can't let someone sneeze on you and keep swimming in it more. That's how you get sick. What is a sneeze, by the way? It's the body doing what? Getting rid of something that's bad inside. Lucas sneezes on me. I go home, and for days I say, oh man, I suck. Lucas said I suck. He sneezed all over me. I'm sick. Would that be wise either? No, I'm not sick. Luca is. When someone sneezes on you and talks badly about you, and even though it'd be bad, because it's not about you, it's about them. Don't buy into their bad things about you. All mean people are lacking meaning in their lives. No one who feels good about themselves speaks badly about you. No one who loves their life wants you to hate yours. Realize that someone sneezing, they're sick. And the way you stay well is by wishing them well who wish you ill. And don't be around them, because then you're contagious. And then you're going around all your relationships and spreading the disease too. That's why when you say bless you to F you, you're keeping yourself healed. And thus you can help heal those around you. It matters to make. Now, if he sneezes on me, would it be normal for me to go, oh yeah? What you? And start sneezing back? Just like Troy? No. That's crazy. Bless you. And walk away and wash your hands and stay well. That's what agape love allows you to do. When people are doing wrong by you, love says I can still do right by them. Loving other people unconditionally, forever, will not always make them better people. But loving other people will always make you a better person. When you bless them, you get blessed. And so we want to make sure we're as whole and happy and healed and loving and kind and patient and forgiving and generous as we possibly can be. Because everyone around us, their behavior is determined by our behavior too. We're that powerful, that important. It's the most important vocabulary word. We spent a whole day on it today. We'll write poems about it tomorrow and the next day. All of your life comes back to this one word, love or the lack of it. So let's understand it. Let's study it. Let's dissect it. Let's practice it. And let's improve upon it every single day. Love as large as you can today. And then top it tomorrow. And top it and top it and elevate others through love. The love you give. That's how you unlock the greatest treasure in life. We talked about yesterday with the skeleton key. It's by being more loving to more people so they can love people more. You can't always choose how someone's going to treat you. You can't choose who you want to be friends with. You can't choose your romance. You can't choose your family. You can always choose your agape, your leadership love. And make sure you're first on your list. Make sure all those qualities you're showing to yourself. You're forgiving yourself. You're being kind to yourself. You're being patient with yourself. You're being encouraging with yourself. You're being generous with yourself. You're showing grace to yourself. You're loving yourself. Agape. The highest because it's the hardest. That's how we transform our lives and the lives of everyone else. Does that make sense? Now on Canvas, I already have an example for you up there. Anything I ask you to do, I do myself. I wrote a poem with 3 revisions. Have you noticed all the 3 R's of revision? Remove, rearrange, replace, I've done. Each poem is built differently. I rearrange some stanzas. I remove a lot, and I replace, I add some new stuff too each time. And the finished product is very different than the first product. There's some similarities too. You're going to write a poem about any rhyme scheme you want, any length you want, no haikus, about all of, some of, or one of those 4 types of love. Family love, friendship love, romantic love, or love of all things beautiful, and agape, leadership love. And we're going to work on revising it together, and then we're going to share them in class on Friday. And if you want to read my example, it's on Canvas. It's been there since yesterday. Questions for me on the poem? Well, we hope you get better by saying bless you people and to ourselves, hopefully. How many of you have ever spent 5 minutes or more on your own, just with yourself, thinking about love, what it is, and how I'm using it in my life? And we wonder why the world's not a very loving place. You should be doing it every day, or close to that, and examining how can I get better at this? How can I get better at this? All right, I want you to do now. We have, what time to get out here?
27.
You have about 6 minutes or so. Start thinking about what you want to write about. Get a little outline going. Maybe get some more research on life. You need to maybe think of a story or something how love affected your life in some way. And how can I get my first little draft going, if possible? Maybe just get some thoughts down about what you want your poem to be about. Make sense? All right.